morning from Heartfelt National. This morning is May 23rd. We've just finished off a week of a lot of rain. We had about 3¼ inches last week. It rained 4½ of the 7 days, and humidities were high. Temperatures were not bad, but humidities were high, and we just are not drying out. So we'd sent an email blast out last week. Upon scouting several of the greens late last week, I started to see signs of issues with saturation. The grass is just not breathing, soils are completely saturated. So we're out here venting the greens today. I'll show you here, we have just a bayonet tine. It looks like a knife on our Procore with the roller on the back, and the roller is spring loaded, so it's nice because it gives the turf a nice roll. You get very little effect from the bayonet tine, and I'll point you down at the green down here. You can see the tine. I'll put my soil probe so you get an idea. And you know, I'm about 4½ feet away from the green right now, and very little surface effect. Ball roll's really not affected at all, but this is doing a lot for our turf. It's allowing the roots to start breathing again, allowing the soil to kind of start moving again. Microbes start moving because it's just been so saturated, they have no oxygen. So one of the other problems is with the green saturated is our mowing. It's been very problematic getting a consistent mow on these greens really all spring, and really the whole golf course. It's been just saturated. We've had to mow through puddles on fairways. We've had to mow through puddles and rough, because at some point you just have to mow. You can't just sit back and kind of just throw your hands up in the air. But this last week was a real challenge for the greens, especially since we're triplexing, and I'll show you some of the effects of mowing when it's wet and mowing at the heights that we are at right now. If I move over to the edge of the greens over here, this is on number 11. I'm going to go over here to a lower spot, and you can see in here right on the edges, and I'm going to kind of point in my lens here, right there. There's some scalping all in here, right in here, and right in here. It's all scalping because the greens are soaking wet, and we're putting a big heavy mower on these greens, and they're sinking in and scalping the turf. Here you see, you can almost see where the reel was at, right? Again, I'll point the soil probe right here, right there. Big scalp mark in these greens. So, you know, again, we try to remain as proactive as we can. We push these greens as hard as we can given the conditions we have, but sometimes Mother Nature just doesn't let us. It's been very difficult. You know, this morning it's 59 degrees out, humidity's 97%. There's really not a whole lot of difference between standing on the 11th green here and standing at the greenhouse at Longwood Gardens a mile down the road. It's very humid, does not allow for much drying, and it makes things very difficult to get a consistent maintenance or mowing done on all the surfaces of the golf course. So again, this morning we're out venting these greens. This is really going to help us. We're going to do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, and finish up on Wednesday with the outings we have. Hopefully we'll get these things speeded up and get things moving again. Hopefully Mother Nature shuts the faucets off for us. So here we are from Heartfelt National, Monday, May 23rd.